What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Thompson Twins, and we're back with the final tune, at least on the standard version of Into the Gap, 1984. Luca is walking on my dust covers, and I now realize why, because there's a toy mouse behind it. Here, let me get this for you. And there you go. But yeah, we're up to the final tune, which is Who Can Stop the Rain? I mean, it's interesting. It immediately makes me think of Duran Duran's Hold Back the Rain. I do enjoy that tune a great deal. I imagine the metaphor may be in a different place, a different area, but again, it makes my brain think about a torrent of decisions or lifestyles that could lead to calamity or a deluge and a submersion in the end. But yeah, ultimately, if it's more direct in terms of the rain, I don't know, it may refer to the, sort of inevitability or implacability of natural forces, meaning no matter what humans do and no matter how they try to, pursue certain ambitions or goals or relationships, at the end of the day, there are things like the turning of the earth or indeed the rain from the sky that, humans don't really have anything to do with. Okay, at this point, you are making a lot of noise, you know that? It would be nice if you could maybe just come hang out. Let's see what she thinks about that. No, I don't think so. I think she's going straight back down. Yep. Well, now she's going to play with the mouse, though. That should be less noisy. In any case, I'm curious as to the way this quite, fair to say, poetic or lyrical type of phrase. It has a cachet to it, the phrase, so... let's find out Who Can Stop the Rain. This is the Thompson Twins, the final tune on the standard version of their 1984 album, Into the Gap. The winding of a clock. It's like when I listen to their music, I now just key in on all the different percussive layers. These little touches.
You were keeping time when I read your letter. Sent shivers down my spine.
Yeah, okay. It's, might be more about the pain itself than decisions or life behavior, but... Also the bass. It's a steady groove, but it's a nice groove. This groove right here, it is, I think you can just play this for me. directly assess that Thompson Twins. Those concepts. An emerging wrinkle in my ongoing discussions about and thoughts about fade out endings. If it's the end of a track and if the groove, there's no solo parts going on, there's no particularly dramatic singing or anything, if it's just a groove that you fade to keep that feeling, if it's a groove that is, I think, very representative of the album as a whole, I think it actually works very well as an album closer, as an ending for the last track. So, I enjoyed that fade out. I enjoyed the tune overall. Like I said, that's an instant favorite. Maybe I'm wrong, but again, there's lines about, trying to not drown in the pain, and so it's like, it's a torrential downpour, maybe not, again, exactly in the way that the Duran song expresses it, but personal pain and sort of anguish and anxiety, and the idea of that being the downpour that you're trying to keep your head above water and so on. That felt like it was on some level what was happening, but there's also that line about moving mountains, and like, who can move mountains? Like, nobody. So it felt like there was these implacable, unavoidable, inevitable natural forces that are just on a scale beyond our normal decision making in individual lives. So there's these large forces that we're essentially just part of. We're like on the sea waves of these like bigger forces. So even though we experience the pain on a personal level, in some sense it's inevitable. It's part of these things that we can't really change. So it felt like maybe it was a bit of both. I'm sure there's some layers I'm missing, but that was definitely an enjoyable song to try to follow thematically and lyrically. And again, sonically, like I said, there's that moment where I was thinking, like, man, if you just played this little 10-second part for me and said, who is that? I think I could now confidently say that's got to be Thompson Twins, even though I haven't heard it before. So, again, at least in terms of this album in particular, a very particular flavor feels like it's emerged, and again, not that they didn't have their own like style and flavor before this point in Quick Step and Sidekick, which we did go through, and which I don't even think was their first album, but either way, it feels like this album had its own flavor, its own vibe. So, and again, to end the track and the record overall with that sort of flavor, I think makes a lot of sense. So yeah, top tune. Again, not sure in the moment if there's any bonus tunes in the folder, because again, I think most of the folders, they're listed like alphabetically, so it's like I try to use the Discogs master page to make sure I'm doing them in the right order and whatever. So if there are bonus tracks, again, shout out to Han Solo, proprietor of this deep dive, but if there are more in there, please do let me know. Otherwise, I assume that means we'll be on to the next album. So yeah, like I said, loving the bass grooves, loving all the different like little percussive elements, as well as the proper drums as well. And yeah, like a very characteristic voice. It's another group where now it is to the point where you can play me an instrumental, maybe I'll recognize who it is, maybe not, but if you play me a part with singing, I feel like I could begin to say, like, I think that's Thompson Twins. So yeah, getting a sense for their sound is, I guess, what I'm saying. Still more to learn, certainly, but yeah, enjoying the ride. Do let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.